CBS The Bold and the Beautiful Spoilers, Tuesday, August 26, 2025. In a move meant to escape the chaos, Carter and Hope make the fateful decision to elope. It's a classic Bold and the Beautiful pivot fast, emotional, and desperate. The world around them is spinning with pressure. Gossip swirls, accusations build, and neither of them can think clearly anymore. Their romance, already controversial, is becoming too much to handle in public. So, without telling anyone, they vanish into a private ceremony. No guests, no press, just vows and silence. But what begins as a quiet rebellion ends in catastrophe. The location is minimal but elegant, a glass-walled garden venue high above Los Angeles. Carter, composed in his suit. Hope, luminous in a soft white gown. For a brief moment, it feels real, honest, safe. They exchange a glance, and the officiant begins the ceremony. But just as Hope starts to speak her vows, something snaps. A piercing alarm erupts. Fire klaxons echo through the building. Emergency lights strobe. The officiant yells for everyone to evacuate. The ceremony guests, only a handful of staff and close witnesses, scatter. Smoke starts leaking into the room. Then flames. Not just a kitchen mishap. Not a candle. This is arson. Deliberate. Designed to destroy. Carter tries to lead Hope out, but in the confusion, they're separated. A beam collapses. A wall gives in. Staff shout and scramble. The garden hall is choking with smoke and panic. Firefighters arrive within minutes, but it's already too late. When the blaze is finally contained and the last of the smoke clears, Carter rushes back inside. And he finds her. Hope is lying on the floor of what was once a floral aisle. Her dress is scorched. Blood pools beneath her body. There's no pulse. Her eyes are closed. She's gone. What was supposed to be the start of a new life becomes the end of hers. The news travels instantly. Media outlets report the tragedy before the ashes cool. The Forresters, the Spencers, everyone is thrown into grief and disbelief. A wedding gone wrong, no, sabotaged. But by who? And why? Then comes the twist. In the debris, firefighters find something strange. A scorched scrap of paper tucked inside what remains of Hope's wedding bouquet. It's not a love note. It's a receipt. A security invoice, dated 2 weeks before, referencing surveillance installations at Forrester Creations and a property in Big Bear. That invoice is tied to a name no one expected. Daphne. The name hits like a grenade. Daphne, seemingly harmless, always in the background, never fully in the spotlight, had access. She had motive. She had been close to the right people at all the right times. And now it's clear, she's the one who set the wheels in motion. Daphne is the puppet master. Investigators move fast. Phone records. Text messages. A burner phone traced back to a supplier linked to the fire's accelerant. All roads lead to Daphne. She had orchestrated everything, the smear campaign against Zend, the leak that fractured Liam and Hope, the staged incidents that painted Sheila as unstable again. And now, the fire that ended Hope's life. But the question remains, why? When confronted, Daphne doesn't deny it. In fact, she smirks. Her confession is cold, calculated, and brutal. She never hated Hope, but she needed her out of the way. Daphne's ambitions had nothing to do with love or jealousy. She wanted power. She had her sights set on the Forrester dynasty, and she knew as long as Hope existed, she'd never have a place at the table. Hope was the glue holding multiple factions together. Her death wasn't just murder, it was a strategic decapitation. With Hope gone, the dominoes fall quickly. Carter is shattered. Not just by the death of the woman he was moments away from marrying, but by the realization that he had been played. Every word Daphne whispered, every comforting moment, every piece of advice, all of it was manipulation. And now the woman he loved is dead because he walked her into a trap. Liam is wrecked. He had been on the fence. torn between his feelings for Hope and his inability to pull her away from Carter. And now he'll never get the chance. He replays every moment in his mind. What if he'd tried harder? What if he'd gone after her that morning instead of letting her slip away? Ridge is furious. Daphne had worked under his nose, used his company, exploited his trust, and violated everything the Forrester name stood for. The betrayal cuts deeper than anything he's experienced since Brooke's infidelities and the Thomas scandals. Steffi, meanwhile, is suspiciously quiet. Daphne had aligned herself closely with Steffi's circle in recent weeks. Was it just positioning? Or had Steffi unknowingly opened doors for the monster now exposed? Meanwhile, the alliance between the Forresters and the Spencers fractures. Bill Spencer accuses Ridge of negligence. Ridge blames Bill for not acting on Liam's concerns earlier. Carter, now a grieving widower, steps away from Forrester entirely. He resigns. He disappears for days, maybe weeks. But the fallout doesn't stop there. Daphne's manipulation also revealed secrets that many tried to bury. In uncovering her path, investigators also clear names once stained. Zend, previously accused of sabotage, is exonerated. The digital smear campaign that nearly cost him his position at Forrester was part of Daphne's larger scheme. So was the unraveling of Sheila's fragile re-entry into society. Daphne had faked messages, planted evidence, and reactivated old fears. Sheila may be unstable, but this time, she wasn't guilty. And that fact shakes everyone. What else have they misjudged? In the days following the fire, a memorial is held for Hope. But it's not just a goodbye. It's a reckoning. Every major character is forced to confront their role in her death. Not directly, but in the silence, in the apathy, in the choices not made, the truths not told. Hope had stood as a symbol of belief in second chances. Now, that belief lies buried with her. The empire wobbles. Daphne is taken into custody, but not without final words. She vows this isn't the end. She claims there are others involved. That the rot runs deeper. That the dynasty everyone worships is built on secrets, lies, and illusions of honor. I didn't destroy anything, she says in her final scene, cuffed, led into a police van. I just peeled back the curtain. The final shot of Tuesday's episode doesn't show Daphne. Or Carter. Or even Liam. It's a shot of the wedding bouquet burned, half destroyed, the shredded ribbon still clinging to the scorched remains of a love that never got to bloom. And behind it, smoke still rises. Because in the bold and the beautiful, fire may destroy, but it also reveals. And what's been revealed this time can never be forgotten. Hope Logan is gone. Daphne is exposed. But the war is just beginning. And nobody is safe. Will's guilt spirals, Liam begs Hope, and Ridge and Carter make a pact. Tuesday's episode of The Bold and the beautiful promises to plunge viewers deeper into an emotional and psychological battlefield. As the fallout from recent events continues to ripple across Los Angeles, every character is standing at a crossroads. The guilt, the secrets, and the impossible choices are converging. Let's dive into what's coming without sugarcoating or dragging things out. Will Spencer's guilt is eating him alive. At the center of Tuesday's episode is Will Spencer, who is spiraling into guilt and confusion after his promotion party. Will can't shake the fact that he doesn't remember what happened that night. He recalls sleeping with someone. But who? He thinks it was Electra Forrester, a possibility that's plausible enough for him to believe at first. But when he nervously approaches Electra, she doesn't understand what he's talking about. No recognition. No confession. Just confusion. Her body language, her words, it's clear she's not the mystery woman he woke up next to. That only increases Will's desperation. He moves on to Lainey, who was flirting with him during the party. For a second, there's hope. Maybe she's the one. Maybe this story ends quietly. But Lainey laughs it off, drunkenly reminiscing about dancing with Zend Forrester Dominguez for hours. Again, Will hits a wall. That's 2 suspects down. The shame he carries is intensifying by the minute. And now he's trapped. Not just by his lack of memory, but by the weight of possibly betraying someone, or himself, without even knowing it. This isn't just guilt, it's moral paralysis. He needs answers, and fast. Katie Logan steps in. But it's not enough. Eventually, Will cracks and turns to the only person he can still trust, his mother, Katie Logan. In a rare moment of raw vulnerability, Will confesses everything. The blackout. The mystery woman. His gut feeling that something is off. He's haunted by the what if Electra did find out and things spiraled? What if he did something wrong? Katie, in a classic Logan move, tries to ground him. She tells him to let it go. There are no clues, no accusations, no evidence. Let it fade into the past. But Will can't. He won't. His instincts won't let him rest. His mind is racing too fast, and the only way to slow it down is to know. He needs to identify the woman in his bed that night, and take responsibility, whatever the truth may be. That need becomes so intense that Will does something unthinkable. He turns to Sheila Carter Sharp. Sheila Carter, Will's new ally or enemy. This is where things take a dangerous turn. Sheila is not someone you run to when you're confused. She's someone you run from. But Will, in his desperation, decides that she might be his only hope for the truth. Sheila's connections, her reach, her underworld network, she could dig up what others can't. The question is, at what cost? Sheila never helps for free. Her interest in Will is unclear for now. But if history tells us anything, it's that when Sheila gets involved, chaos follows. If Will lets Sheila into his personal life, he may end up regretting it far more than a drunken mistake. And if Sheila sees an opportunity to use this information against Luna Nozawa in any way, she won't hesitate. Liam Spencer's heartbreaking plea. Elsewhere in Los Angeles, Liam Spencer is standing on emotional quicksand. After a serious conversation with his father, Bill Spencer, Liam finally gets the clarity, or the push, he needs. He marches straight to Hope Logan and makes a heartfelt, vulnerable plea. He wants her back. Not in some vague future maybe. He wants her now. But timing is everything, and Liam's couldn't be worse. Hope is engaged to Carter Walton, and she's not just wearing a ring. She's trying, truly trying, to honor a commitment to a man who is by her side through emotional hell. Hope's reaction is gut-wrenching. She still loves Liam. That's never been the issue. But she's not the woman she was a year ago. She's changed. Her loyalty to Carter is real, and so is her fear of hurting someone good. Hope can't bear to break another man's heart to rebuild what she and Liam broke so many times before. Liam is pleading, but Hope is stuck, torn between her heart and her promise. And Tuesday's episode makes it very clear no matter what Hope chooses, someone is going to lose everything. Ridge Forrester and Carter Walton. The Pact. Meanwhile, in the upper offices of Forrester Creations, Ridge Forrester is watching a train wreck in slow motion. He sees Carter walking straight into disaster with his marriage plans to Hope. Ridge has seen this pattern play out too many times. He tries again to talk Carter down, to give him a reality check. But Carter's not listening. He's emotionally invested. Maybe too invested. He sees Hope as his second chance at a life, at stability, at love that's not doomed from the start. And he's willing to risk it all for that hope, even if Ridge thinks it's reckless. So Ridge makes a call. If he can't stop Carter, he'll at least prepare him. The two men make a pact. Ridge won't fight the wedding, won't undermine it. But Carter needs to promise that if things start to go south, if Hope's heart starts drifting again, he won't pretend not to see it. He won't stay in denial. Carter agrees. But we all know how these things go. Pacts in this show are made to be tested. Luna Nozawa and the Sheila threat. The lingering question: where does Luna Nozawa fit into all this? Sheila's silence with Will is suspicious. She could have revealed the truth, but she didn't. Is it because Luna is involved? Is Sheila covering for her? Or does Sheila have her own plan to use Luna as leverage? We don't yet know if Luna had anything to do with Will's blackout night. But Sheila is circling, and that can only mean danger. If Sheila thinks she can exploit Luna, Especially now that Luna's reputation is stabilizing, she won't hesitate. Tuesday may just give us the first sign of that betrayal. Tuesday's episode, a powder keg, everything is coming to a head in the Tuesday, August 26th episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. From Will's unraveling guilt, to Liam's raw confession, to Ridge and Carter's wary pact, this isn't filler. This is the tipping point. Emotions are boiling over, secrets are crawling into the light, and alliances are being tested. And looming over all of it is Sheila Carter, always one step away from detonating the piece. Will we find the truth, or unleash something worse? Will hope break Carter's heart, or silence her own desires forever? Will Ridge's pact be enough to save his friend from heartbreak? Tune in Tuesday. The storm is coming, and nobody's safe.